Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Stamping with Sarah. It's not a Saturday anymore, so it doesn't really make sense, but we're here on Tuesday night, and I'm a little bit early. I know that. Thank you for those of you who were able to jump on early. It looks like I have Amanda and Denise. Good afternoon, and Mary, two Marys, and Karen and Linda. Thanks so much for joining me. Um, so in my job, I'm a technology person for a school district. And when the pandemic hit, we ended up having to get a lot more technology. And so we ended up getting a new technology team. Hello, Becky and Karen Wetstein. And so this was 2 summers ago. We had two new people come on board. We had one person retire, so we were picking up one more person. And since that summer, we've said, we need to get together so everybody gets to know each other's spouses and stuff. I tend to know everybody, but they don't all know, their spouses don't know each other. And so we've been trying for 2 summers to get together. And so tonight, hello, Nancy, is the night that they picked to have a cookout. And so they scheduled it for 6 o'clock. And I'm like, Tuesday. So thank you so much for joining me at 4:30. I just got home about 45 minutes ago, but I made sure before I went to bed last night that everything was set to go. So we are ready to stamp. I don't have any fun folds tonight. I have some pretty straightforward cards to show you one suite of products. And I have some of my swap cards that I can share with you as well to show you some other cards with that. And then the bundle that was in the catalog that caught my attention right away and was in my very first order when I could order it. Hello, Kathy from Alberta, Canada. Thanks for joining me. Hi, Kay. So if you're going to be making 2 cards, I'm also going to show you one other 3D item. And I think that's about it. It should take us a little over an hour, maybe. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at my Happy Mail. I did get some Happy Mail. Whoops, I have something on there. This I got a while ago, and I think I forgot to share it with you. Look at how beautiful this is. This is paper that is colored with some Stampin' Blends. And this comes to me from Cheryl McClure, and I think she's in Wyoming. And then look at this beautiful card. Remember last week I was telling you that the seashell bundle, I had loaned that out to somebody. This was a thank you for loaning out all of my nautical stuff. And she's even used paper that's kind of nautical. It has seashells and stuff in it when she sent me a thank you. This one I forgot to show you last week. Look at how cute this is. Both of these, I can't do this without looking at it. There we go. Both of these cows are on wobbles. Isn't that cute? This is a birthday card. It was a belated birthday card from Diane Van Grow. And then this came in the mail today. This was my Happy Mail today. And I think Amanda's on here killing some time before dance or during dance recital. Look at how beautiful this is. This is with Basic Beige and Petunia Pop. And this even actually looks a little bit like it might be, no, I don't think so. I don't know if that's peach pie or if it's pumpkin pie, but look at how pretty that is. And she won. She probably got her prize today in the mail because it just went out yesterday. I was kind of hoping that maybe I saw you at my used stamp sale, so I held on to it till that was over, and then I sent it out. So she's thanking me for the prize she won last week. And then she said, and for dropping off her Color Club items. Her kids are always excited to see the new items. So thank you so much for that card. And she even sent it in a different envelope. So I have a decorated envelope all set to go if I want to reuse it. So thank you so much. Hello, Lori. So that was my Happy Mail. I wanted to share with you last week. I said I didn't grab everything because I was kind of in a hurry, but I was going to show you some of the things that we made for the shower for our gifts. So some of you maybe remember these little boxes that we had in our holiday catalog. Well, they went to 60% off before they went out. And so I got a whole bunch of these. And our theme, we ended up choosing lavender because of this paper. So I made one of these boxes and my mom's like, I love it. So when she was going through some health issues and she was kind of home quite a bit, I ended up cutting all these squares for her. So she put all these boxes together. She glued them all. And then we had gotten some lavender, so we tied a little bit of that to the top. And then on the inside, we have some lavender soap, and it says from Aubrey's shower to yours. And we had a little lavender lip balm from Door County because they're getting married in Door County too. So that was one of the things that we had as a little gift at all of the places. And each one of these were a little bit different with the paper. Then for the games, I ordered these clipboards. So these are 6x9. They're actually about 6 1/8 by a 9 1/8, which means that I couldn't use 2 per sheet. I had to cut them a little bit bigger than 6 inches. So I cut them that size. I used a corner rounder and rounded the corners. And then I just cut out this little area right here for that to go. And then I just glued them to these clipboards. So we have all different, so we had the little games clipped to this so that they had something to write on while they were playing the games. And then, I don't know if you can see this on here, but I took some of the paper and I rolled it. And so you just take off the back of these. And I rolled some paper in there, which is the lavender paper, and then put that back on there. So they had a matching pen to go with their little clipboards, and they could take their clipboards with them along with the pens. So those were our little fun, creative ideas that we had for the shower. The pens, if you're ever interested, you can get them on Amazon. I got them, and they're called RSVP, and the barrel comes out, and you can just put some paper in there, which is kind of cool. All right, so that was what I needed to share. Now we need some prizes. All right, hello, Betty. So last week we did manly cards, masculine cards. So we made this one with the trusty tools, and this was a little fun fold. So this opens up, and then that flips down. Okay, and we used some of the country lace, believe it or not, on a masculine card. So that is the little toolbox. And then we also did the Take to the Sky, I think it's called. We did this Father's Day with the airplane, and it had this little tag that we got right from the paper. This little background was also from the paper. So receiving these cards for commenting last time. So anytime you place a comment, your name gets put into a drawing. You get assigned a number. I randomly pick a number. And receiving these for commenting last week is Betty Rose now. So Betty, I just saw you on here. Hello, Betty. You are going to be getting these in the mail. And then for sharing. So if you hit the share button either in Facebook or here in YouTube, you also get put into a drawing. Make sure you put in the comments, kind of like Linda did and a couple of other people. Let's see. Denise and Mary Linsmeyer, they all wrote that they shared. You get entered into a drawing as well. So receiving a pack of these adhesive back dots for days. These are really nice. They're really they're like Daffodil Delight and Flirty Flamingo. And I believe the bottom one is Pool Party. And I forgot what's on top. It's a darker color on top. I don't want to open it up for you. This is going to, for sharing, let me look at my notes. Mary Linsmeyer, and I see Mary is on here too. So I will get these off in the mail to you, Mary. And then for placing an order. So I'll give you sure I will. Here is my current host code. So if your order is under $150, I would ask that you put this host code in. It gives me benefits so that I can purchase all of these prizes for you. If it's over $150, you get benefits yourself. So then do not put that host code in. You take advantage of those. So receiving this stamp set labeled with love. This is one that we've used before. It has butterfly. It has these pretty flowers, two-step flowers here. It's got some gifts. This is going to, let me look, Debbie Peters. So Debbie, I will get this off in the mail to you. I think that is all that I have. I think it is. I think we will go ahead and we will get to stamping. Let me hide this. Let me do this and this. and make that big. And I'm going to turn my overhead light off. Whew, there we go. Hopefully that takes away a little bit of the shadows. Yep, that helps. Okay, so we are going to start. Our first card tonight is going to be using this Friends for Life. And it comes from the suite of products. Let me get my mouse out of here. That's called Full of Life. So this is the page. It's on pages 42 and 43. And I'll admit to you, ladies, I bought the paper. Didn't buy any of this. I'm like, I want to see the paper. I want to see some of the stuff because I'm not quite sure what I want to do this. Then I started getting some swap cards and seeing things. And I was like, ooh, I kind of like that. So then I ordered that. I had ordered the gems and I had ordered the ribbons and I really loved those. And so I decided I was going to get it and I love it. We are going to make a nice, quick and easy card that looks so cool. So this is what the paper looks like. Yes, Amanda. And you're going to see, I'll show you some of my swap cards that I got with this. I think I have 8 of them that I can share with you. You can like use whatever part of the paper you want to make whatever color you want. So today the paper we're using has some pink in it and it has some blue. And I took more of the pink than I did the blue. So you can kind of adjust it. So here, if you want it, I'll show you a card that uses more of the green and yellow. And they probably use this for a different card that has different colors in it. So we've got, this is like a mosaic. We've kind of got some, looks like not bricks, but it looks like little splotches there. We've got some circles. We have other paint. Here's more of those. We got more of those. Look at that. Very cool, right? Hi, Kathy. There's more paper like that. So it's very, very cool. And then on the back, it is like kind of watercolor, I guess you would kind of call this. I would call it, I guess, watercolor washes. It's just very, very cool paper. All right, so we're going to be using that today. And what I liked about this is I love in the dies, there's this really cool heart, which I didn't use that in my card today. There's this little like a paint strip that you could do, that you could cut out in different colors if you wanted to. There's this like leaf thing. I didn't use that either. There's friend and friend, but I'm going to show you some cards that use some of these things. Hello, Tammy and Sarah. And so this is the stamp set we're going to be using today along with the paper. And I used one of the dies. All right, so let me see here. Let me get I do need my mouse so that I can give you the measurements, which I haven't put the measurements up from last week yet. I apologize for that. It's kind of been crazy. I was out of town at a wedding this weekend. So it was fun, but takes a lot out of you, right? When you have to travel and then stay at a hotel and then do your laundry when you get home. So this is 5.5 by 8.5. And I scored it at 4 1/4. And this is Berry Burst we're going to be using. And then I have 2 pieces of basic white, one for the outside, one for the inside. These each measure 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. Excuse me. So I have 2 of those. And then I took this piece of paper. I love that, right? It's so pretty. And the Berry Burst and stuff is in here. So I could have, I suppose, if I wanted to, put more of the Berry Burst, but I thought it looked kind of cool this way to have the Berry Burst. You could cut it however you wanted. I just wanted this little circle a little bit off-centered because we're going to actually cover that up. But look at what that looks like when you layer it on this white. Doesn't that look cool? And it almost looks like you could have painted that yourself, right? So that is the paper that we're using. I also took a piece that was left over. So this is the other side. And I have a piece, one of these, I think I have a couple of them in here. This one here, I think is the one that I have that measures 1/2 inch by 5 1/8, and that's going to be for the inside. Now, I did have some of these pieces that I ended up cutting off. So what I did with this is I took one of those heart dies, and I wanted one that had a little bit of the blue and a little bit of the pink. And so I ended up cutting that heart out that has some of the blue and it has some of the pink in it. And I still have some scraps left that I could do other things with. I'm going to go ahead and put these back over here because we can use other things with that. Let me think here. Okay, this is a stylish shaped circle that we're also going to be using. We're also going to use these iridescent faceted gems, which have quickly become, look at how it just picks up any color, my favorite gems. They're currently, I believe, still unavailable, but I believe they're becoming available. It's either this week or next week. So watch for that, but these are pretty cool. Then we're also going to be using the ribbon that comes with this. Look at that. It kind of also, it has some iridescent lines in it and it kind of picks that up as well. So I just love with all of these colors with the iridescent, it just really shines. So we're going to be using that. I'm going to be using some Berry Burst ink, and we're going to be using the Thinking of You and this little heart stamp that is in there. That's all we're going to be using in it. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to stamp the Thinking of You on that circle. This is going to be a very quick and easy. The paper's going to do most of the work here. Okay. And then the heart, since I'm using a heart on the inside, I wanted to use these hearts for the outside of my envelope. So that's all I'm using the hearts for. Easy, right? Look at how quickly that went together. Now, what we're going to do is for one of these, I'm going to attach this designer paper along the bottom. I'm going to show you this new tool that I got. Has anybody seen these online? Thanks for sharing. Hello, Michelle. Glad you could join us. This is from My Sweet Petunia, which is the maker of the Misty, which is kind of like the Stamparatus that Stampin' Up! Had. This is, it's like a glue gun. So you put the glue in here. Now it does come with where you can fill one of these. So all you have to do is take your green glue and squirt it all in here so that you don't have to worry about it clogging up and doing all of that kind of stuff. So you can squirt it in here. And then when you take this off, it does have the little pin in the center of it that goes into there. And that can just set right on here. This sets in the little stand like this. And when you squeeze this, it pushes the bottle together to squeeze your glue out. So if you have a hard time, like you're constantly having to shake your glue like this, and you're constantly trying to get the glue out. So far, I've had this for, I think it came when I was at the wedding. So I've been using it the last couple of days and I really like it so far, but it just kind of sets in here on my desk while I'm not doing anything. And then I can just pick it up and go ahead and squeeze it. And I get my little glue out of there, put it back in, and it's nice and handy for me. And I'm not having to, so far I haven't had to like shake to get it going or do any of that kind of stuff. So they were out of stock for a really long time. And I sent something to be notified when they came back in stock. And I was notified and I'm like, okay, I'm going to order one really quickly before they go out of stock again. Okay, so it's a nice small little bit of glue, so you don't have to worry about having way too much glue on your card, so that it's what is it called? I wish I knew. If you go to My Sweet Petunia, Tammy, and you look for a glue, precision glue gun, I think a precision glue something or other. It was precision, I'm pretty sure. And then it had glue in it as well. You will find it at their website. You will also see they've got all the different Misties, which are kind of like our Stamparatus. And that's where you can find them. All right. And I know, Tammy, you asked me about the, I was using the seal more. I have been using the seal because I find that when I was making swap cards, that, like I said, the glue, I was constantly shaking it and trying to get it out. And I felt like I was wasting so much of my time with that, where with the seal, it just kind of went a little bit faster when I was making swap cards. So I kind of got used to using it during the swap cards. I will put a link on my Facebook page to take you to, and I'll try to put it in the comments here or in the description here afterwards so that you can see where I got it from, because I really do like it. This I'm going to go ahead and put on the Berry Burst. So this is going to be a quick and easy card. And I'll show you some of the elements that I stole from some of my swap cards to make this one. Okay, I want to put this on here, but I was like, and I'm going to put this little heart maybe right down there. So I like that, but I'm like, it needs something more. And so I decided it needed a little bit of ribbon behind it before I put that on there. So I'm going to cut some ribbon off here. And what I'm going to do is what I like to do is I like to make, when I have bigger ribbon like this, where it's a little bit wider, I like to make a faux bow. I love saying that, a faux bow. Okay, and then I like to check to see if I put it in the middle. That's about right. I have enough bow coming out on each end. So then what I'm going to do is with my faux bow, I'm going to just kind of set it where I want it to go. I'm just going to take some Scotch tape and I'm going to tape that down. Okay, and then I'm just going to go ahead and trim this. And I'm going to trim this. By doing a faux bow instead of a real bow, I don't have the heaviness of, or the kind of the clump of that knot right there. So now I can go ahead and use some Stampin' Dimensionals and put that right there. And I don't have that big knot underneath there. So I'm going to go ahead and put my dimensionals on either side of this. And this doesn't want to quite lay as flat as my one that I made yesterday. Maybe once I put this on here, it will. I'm going to take these off. Make sure I get that straight. Thinking of you. Okay, so that ribbon is just kind of liked how that looked. It's a little bit bigger than the one I did yesterday, but I still think it looks okay. And then I'm going to pop this up on a little mini dimensional. I didn't pop it up yesterday, and I probably should have. Oops. Brand new pack of mini dimensionals. Oh, thank you, Barbara. And thank you for sharing, and thanks for your comment. Okay, so that's just going to go there for the little love that we're giving them when we're thinking of them. And then we have these iridescent, what are they called? Faceted gems that just pick up whatever color you're using. So I'm just going to take, since my ribbon's going that way, I'm going to put my gems. I'm going to put 2 of them up there, and I'm going to put one of them down there. So that those gems, oh, look at that with that ribbon and those gems, it just really sparkles. And look at how quickly that went together and how easy that was. I just stamped one of the greetings, put some ribbon on underneath there, and threw some gems on it, and it was ready to go. And I can, depending on what it's for, if it's a get well, I can put a get well in the center, whatever I want to do. And that's how easy that went together. And I also have an envelope that matches the little hearts. Let me show you some of the other cards. Here's the ribbon with a little bit smaller ribbon. I think I kind of like the smaller. I might actually make that a little smaller yet before I give it to somebody next week. All right, here, this is a love you. So this is that same paper, but they use more of this stuff and cut all the pink stuff off. Okay, so this one says love you, uses that heart. And then that's the inside. This is made by Diane Bogenhagen. Here's another one like that uses the green. There's the thinking of you with that green. Here's the ribbon like that. And the inside, that's also by Diane Bogenhagen. The first 4 are from her. So I saw how she did that in a circle at the center, and I got that idea from her. Here's where I kind of decided on the ribbon that I wanted it tucked rather than tying a big bow. This is also Diane Bogenhagen. And then this is the last one from her, where she used just part of that grid, that mosaic, embossed the front of this and did that. And then these are from Lori Krause. So she used some of that glimmer paper and used the friend cutout and wrapped some ribbon. And this is a fun fold. And then this is also from Lori Krause. This is that rainbow, and she used the die as kind of like a stencil, and she used a blending brush to blend that on, I believe, rather than stamping it. I think that's what she did. That's what it kind of looks like on here. And then she used some Wink of Stella on the word friend and just put a couple of those gems down here. Happy birthday, friend. And then this one is from Catherine Anderson. Look at how pretty that is. This is where I got the idea of the heart with the paper. So I used different paper. Here she just cut different squares of different papers and put the thinking of you down here. And put, none of these cards really take all that much time to make because the paper does a lot of the work. And then here's the last one, and this one is from Dina Rico. Again, I think she used a blending brush for this. Just put a little strip of the paper over here, and we've got some of the ribbon tied. And this, I believe, is Blackberry Burst along with the Petunia Pop. And look at what she did with that little paint splatter stamp on the inside, and then the little hearts that I used. So those are the swap cards that I got, just to give you an idea of other things that you could do with this suite besides what I just did with this one. All right, so that is our card number 1. Let me get all of this stuff kind of out of the way. And we'll go on to card number 2. So for card number 2, I was really wanting to, this is the bundle we're going to use. Has anyone seen this? Round We Go. Has, like, you're looking at it going, why does she think this is so cool? I love some of the things that you can do, and I'm going to show you some of the elements that I didn't even use afterwards. It has a whole bunch of fun dies that you can layer, and it cuts out little circles around them. I'll show you that. This makes a rosette, so I'm going to show you that at the end. I just think that this is super, super cool how you could make this for on gifts. You could I'm going to show you how you could make something, and you could just, like, if you're giving someone a bottle of wine, how you could make something just to put over the neck of the wine or to add to the top of a gift or a gift bag. Just to, it could be your card instead of having to make a card. So I'm going to show you how all of these different things work. So my stamp club people, or my color club, I should say, people know that this month was Summer Splash. So how my color club works is they sign up, and every month they get billed and they get a different color. So I order everything up front, and they get different little gifts at the beginning. Like I threw in a set of these gems if they ended up buying the blends. They all got a roll of the basic beige ribbon for free. They all got a 6 or a 12 by 12 pack of the glimmer paper for free. But then each month they get a pack of paper, They get the blends if they ordered them. They get a re-inker, the stamp pad. They get a piece of paper that gives them some of these color combinations of using with it. And they get 3 cards from me. So these were my 3 cards for Summer Splash. So they also get a pack of this up front. And they got a pack of the other in color dots. I'll show you which ones when I get there. This was another one. This is using the set that we're using right now. That's what made me think of it. And then these are the other dots that they all got. And they got a pack of this designer paper. So it's kind of a fun way to get all of the new in colors and spreading out the payment of it over 5 months. So we started in May, they got Petunia Pop. In June, they got Summer Splash. In July, they'll get Pretty in Pink. And then, oh gosh, I think we have Shy Shamrock. And then I think the last one is Petunia or Peach Pie. So I was looking for some fun, bright colors. So I really, really, really wanted to use the Summer Splash. And when I looked at my color coach, I was like, crumb cake? No, that's not really bright. And then I looked at Pretty Pink and Melon Mambo, and I'm like, oh, I could do that. So I thought about that, but I'm like, 2 pinks, I kind of want to mix it up a little bit. So I went looking through all of my other colors, looking for different times when I came across Summer Splash. So like here's one, Pumpkin Pie and Pool Party. Pool Party wasn't quite bright enough for me for what I was kind of thinking. So I kept going until I almost went with this one, Melon Mambo, Gorgeous Grape, and Summer Splash. That was I was all set to do it. And then I'm like, I'm just going to keep looking through here. And I came to Blueberry Bushel and there was Summer Splash and Fresh Freesia. Who doesn't like a purple, a really bright blue, and then this I don't even know what you call like a turquoisey color. So hello, Sandy. Hello, Marva. Thank you for joining me. So this is the color combination that I went with. All right, let me get my dimensions here and I will show you what we're going to do. Now, I don't want you to get freaked out on this one because I did use some 1/16 of an inch because the 1/8 of an inch looked too small and the 1/4 of an inch looked too big. So my card base for this is 5.5 by 8.5 and it's scored at 4 1/4 and this is the Blueberry Bushel. Okay, then I did the Summer Splash. I did in 4 by 5 1/4 and I have one for the outside and I also did one for the inside because we're going to be making our own designer paper here. We're going to be stamping to kind of make a background. Okay, this is where it gets a little dicey. So if you have a hard time with 1/8 of an inch, these are 16. So here's what I did. 3 3/4 just left too big of a border for me. 3 7/8 was like a little bit not enough of the border showing. So I cut the difference. So when you look at a ruler, let me pull my ruler in here, my cutting blade. Okay, so 3 7/8 is the second from 4 inches. So it's this one right here. 3 3/4 is right there. I just went to this one right here. That's the 1/16 of an inch. Okay, so I just basically said, that's a little bit small. That's a little bit too much. That's not enough. Let's just cut the difference and go right there. So that's what I did with each of those. So if you're wondering, what does she mean by 13/16 and 1/16? That's what I mean by that. So that's what these are. You could do 3 3/4 by 5, or you could do 3 7/8 by 5 1/8 if you don't like to do the 1/16 of an inch. Hello, Joan. All right, so that's what we need. And then I also cut some stuff out ahead of time. So I'm going to show you, what did I do with the stamp set? Where did I put it already? Here it is. I'm going to show you which things from here, which dies I used for some of this. So for this one right here, Oh, look at that. That's our fresh freesia. I use this one that has a pointy end on it. So I cut that out. And then this one cuts just those little circles out. Okay, it doesn't cut it in a circle. It just puts those little circles in there. Isn't that cool? All right. Then this is some of the Summer Splash glimmer paper, and I punched that out of 1 3/4 inch because I thought that looked really cool, just kind of peeking through there. And then this one that's rounded, this is a blueberry bushel, and we're going to end up layering those on top of each other like that. Isn't that cool? All right, so that's how we did that. Now, I'm going to show you once I'm done with this card, I will show you what all of these other dies do and how you can kind of layer things and stuff like that, because I think it's pretty cool. I'm going to set this aside for now. Hopefully I won't lose it. I'm going to take my 2 white layers and we're going to do some stamping. Like I said, I'm going to make my background paper pretty much with these. So I'm going to go ahead, bring in my stamps. I'm going to set my glue a little bit more off to the side now that I showed you what that is. So I have Summer Splash, Blueberry Bushel, and my Fresh Freesia, that color combination that I got from the Color Coach. Doesn't that look cool together? I loved it. All right, we also need this to stamp on as well. All right, let's go ahead and start with Blueberry Bushel, and we'll do our greetings with our Blueberry Bushel. So on the front, I'm going to use the happiest birthday, and I'm just going to stamp that right inside of that. Okay, I'm going to set that aside, and I'm going to wait to stamp the other greeting, I think, on the inside. All right, when I'm doing and I'm making my own background paper, I like to always start with the biggest shape that I'm going to be using, and that's this one right here. Okay, so there's 2. There's a rounded and there is a pointed. Okay, and I showed you this is the pointed. It could cut that out. And here's the rounded. It could cut that out. We're not cutting them out. Okay, we're just going to stamp them and make like a background with these colors. Hello, Gian. All right, so I'm going to start with the bigger one. And the bigger one, I'm going to use the Summer Splash. And I'm just going to stamp on here because sometimes these new ink pads, okay, that's not too bad. If it's too juicy for you, all you have to do is take, and somewhere on my desk, I always have a plastic spoon. I did use it last night to spread it out, and I don't see it on here right now, but you just take the back of a plastic spoon and you just spread the ink to make it even. But right now it looks pretty even. So I'm going to take one of these and I'm going to stamp it once. And then I'm going to pick it up and move it and stamp it in the lighter color in between those 2. So can you see the 2 different colors there? And then I'm going to do that again down here. And then I think I'm just going to do a little bit right here. Okay, so I have some of my Summer Splash, and I'm also going to put one of those on the inside, kind of down in the corner. Okay, then for the littler one, I'm going to do that in Fresh Freesia. So here's my Fresh Freesia. I'll do the inside first. I think I'm actually going to do 2 of those. I'm going to do that same method, stamp and then pick up and move, and stamp and pick up and move it. Okay, so you can kind of see those 2 different colors in there. You know what? I didn't give myself enough room. I only stamped 2 of those the last time. I'm going to redo this here. You can see me do it again. I'm going to go here. And we're just going to go down here. I'm going to leave more room so that I have some room for the purple. Okay, and then our purple, our fresh freesia, is actually going to go up here. And I'm going to put one over here. And I'm going to put just a little bit down here. Okay, then to fill in, we've got these little circles for the center. And on these big ones, I'm going to put fresh freesia. And on the littler one, I'm going to do the blueberry bushel. So this is actually, I'm going to stand up and look over the top. Okay, and then to fill in any of the white spot, we have this little, they're little like star type things. Just going to stamp. Just a couple of those around here. Now my greeting is going to go in here, so I don't have to worry too much. I might actually go like that, even though those overlap, because I'm going to put that right there, just so I have a little bit of that. Okay, and then I'm going to add a little bit of those here as well. Okay, and then we'll put our time to celebrate in the middle here on the inside of our card. So this is going to be the outside. That's going to be the inside. And I did that all with stamps. I didn't even need any designer paper. I just made it myself. All right. Now I want this set. Sarah, I love this set. I am just totally in love with this set. I'll show you one other card that I got in a swap. But I've seen so many things online, and I'm going to show you the rosette too, which is actually pretty cool. Let's also, forgot this. We're going to do the same thing on the back of our envelope here. So we're going to go here and there. And we'll do some purple. I didn't do a very good job of lining this one up. I lifted up too much. There we go. Okay, now our purple. So this really is pretty easy to use, right? We'll go ahead and put our centers in. And our blue one. Hi, Julie. Ooh, I had a hair appointment yesterday. I got my hair cut yesterday. And I think that's the only one I need. And then we'll throw a few of these in around the edge. And there we go. We've got this to match the inside of our card. see how easy this is too? Now, you could cut all this stuff out and I'll show you like how you could cut and layer things as well, but you don't have to. You can just use the stamp. So if you don't want to get all of the dies, you don't really have to. So this is going to get layered on here. See how I didn't have to shake that to get it going? I just squeezed it and the glue came out. I'm loving it. Okay, so that's going to go right there. That's going to be our inside. It doesn't blob out all at once. It's pretty steady. Okay, and this we're also going to layer on here. Like that. And put this on the front. Thanks for sharing, Michelle. Okay, then I'm going to go ahead and when I'm using glimmer paper, I like to use tear and tape. It sticks just a little bit better than anything else that we have. So I'm not going to go over those circles because I don't want to see the white tape. I want to see the glimmer paper. That's why we're adding it to it so that we see that glimmer coming through. Now you could have done it a little bit bigger and had it cover the whole thing, but I thought it was cool just to have it peeking out a little bit. So this is a 1 3/4 inch circle that I punched. Thanks for liking and sharing, Julie. All right, this I'm going to pop up on some dimensionals. We'll put one in the center just for good measure. Put that in there. Okay, and I wanted to add a little bit of ribbon, but I didn't want it to be too much. So this is kind of like the last ribbon that we had that had the iridescent in there. This, I thought the silver in it looked really nice with the that's coming through. Oh, you know what? I forgot my Wink of Stella. I did all the centers of these with a whole bunch of Wink of Stella. There we go. That one got a little bit of blue transferred, but I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, you can see that shine. Look at that shine. What? Okay. Before I put this right here, what I wanted to do is just have like a little bit of ribbon coming off the side of it. I don't want a lot. I don't want to take away from everything else that's going on. So I thought if I just go like that with my ribbon and fold it over and then kind of tape it right back here. And then just glue that down. Whoops, I got a little bit of glue on my ribbon. Didn't mean to do that. Then, isn't that cool? Look at how that, I just love this stamp set, this bundle. All right, and then I'm going to take some of our In Color Shimmer Gems, and we've got some of the Summer Splash in there. I don't even know where my take your pick tool. Oh, here it is. I don't know where my take your pick tool is anymore. Here we go. We're just going to, in a couple of different areas here where there's a little bit of white, add a couple of those gems. And look at that. Voila. Hi, Dee. Thanks for joining us. All right. So there is that card using the Round We Go bundle and using a color combination from our color coach. And I can post the color coach again if somebody needs me to. I did post it a while back, but I can post that again in case it's something you would want to download and either print it or you can just save it in your computer as well. Okay, where are all the things that I cut out to show you how everything else works? I should have a little baggie here. Someone let me find it. Ah, where are they? Here they are. Okay, so here are some things that you can do with some of the dies. So I went ahead and cut some things out here. And I cut that thing that I said made a rosette. We're going to actually make a rosette. I cut it with some of the designer paper. And I also cut some other things so you can see what it looks like when you layer some of these things together. So here I cut one of the, so these are two different things. See if I can pull them apart. So this is this die right here. Okay, so this one has a rounded end. So I cut this out with some of the Summer Splash glimmer paper. And then I did white. And I just layered them on top of each other and kind of just like had them go like every other one is white. And it makes kind of a cool little design that you could put on your paper. All right. Here is the bigger one. And I did this with white and some of the blueberry bushel. I just used the colors that I had out because I cut a whole bunch of these out and I thought about putting some of these around here. And I'm like, no, I'm just going to stamp them and let that big thing go in the center. But there is white and the blue. So you can mix colors. You can do the colors themselves. You could cut something like this. And I don't know if you can see that embossed image in the center. You could put that in the center rather than stamping in the center. All right, here I thought this was cool. I used some of the designer paper and look at what happens if I mix that with, oops, I'll do one of these whites. Thought I had two whites here. I guess I just have one. Let me pull this out of there. Look at how cool that looks with the white. So you can mix and match all kinds of things here with these. All right, how do we use this thing right here? Well, I tried to cut just one and make a rosette and it didn't work. You need to have at least two, all right, when you cut them. So I cut these two. And what you're going to do is you're basically just going to go back and forth like accordion style. There, it's already scored for you. And you're going to go back and forth, back and forth. I could have done this already, but I thought, nope, I'm just going to do it with you guys. Okay, so I have all of that done. See, now if I tried to go like this and make it into a rose, it's not big enough. Okay, so I needed another piece. So I'm going to go ahead and that's going to be added right there. So we're going to fold that up, back up. We're going to keep doing the same thing with this one. So like I said, I could see at Christmas time using this with some cool Christmas paper that we have. You know, we could go ahead and make these to put on top of gifts, and you could, they could just look really, really cool on the gifts that you have. Okay, so let's see here. This goes right here. So this is going to go in here. So I'm going to add a little bit of glue. Whoops. Add a little bit of glue on that little tab that we started with. I'm going to set that right inside of there and just kind of hold that until it glues together. Michelle, you're funny. All right, so now I have to attach these. So again, I'm going to put glue over here. I just want to show you how easy it is to make these cool rosettes, because sometimes you got to, like, if you didn't have this die, you would have to make these things, you have to cut your paper, you have to score every 1/4 of an inch, and then you got to fold them and do all that kind of stuff. Well, here, all that scoring is done for you. Okay, so now we just go like this and we fold this in, and voila, we have this cool rosette, right? Well, how do you get it to stay like that? Well, you can go ahead and glue this. I would glue it to the front and to the back. I'm actually going to use this paper so that it shines through again, and we'll put this over the top of it again so it looks like that. Or should we have blue shine through? Let's see, maybe we want blue since the back of it is already the summer splash. Let me get this. There we go. Maybe we want blue. Oh, yeah, I like how the blue comes through rather than that. So what I'm going to do, again, I would use the tear and tape. I'm going to actually, I have a block here. There we go. Come on. I'm going to go ahead and set this block on here right now to hold it in place while I put my glue on. All right, so I'm going to just go ahead and add a whole bunch of tear and tape on here. And I'm going to do it to 2 of them because I'm going to put it on the back as well. I find that they hold a little bit better if you add it to the front and the back. Now, if you add this to a card, you're definitely going to have to add extra postage, and it's going to have to be hand canceled. Like, it's going to have to go through the machine. You can't, I mean, it won't be able to go through the machine is what I'm trying to say. Okay, so this is going to go right there. I'm going to press it. Now, if you have a glue gun works really well too. And this is where you need an extra set of hands. Yeah, you do. Or have this stuff ready beforehand. Or if you like this better, this pattern better, instead of the stripes, you like the floral, you could do either side. Okay, I'm going to go ahead. So have your circles ready. I wasn't really prepared. So have all this stuff on there already, or have a glue gun. Like I said, a hot glue gun. You could just put a little dab of it in the center, and then I think everybody has a glue gun, right? I think I probably have 3 somewhere if I looked. All right, and then I'm going to put that in the back. Actually, before I do this, let me quickly think. I want to add some ribbon so that I can hang it on something. That's way too much. And I'm just going to go ahead and set that in there. And then I'm going to put a little bit more of this over the top of it so that I have enough glue to hold it. Okay, so now here's my front. So I could hang this, like if it's a bottle of wine or something, I could hang it on the bottle of wine. I could add it to a gift. Ornaments. Yes, Tammy, it could be an ornament. I could either put this here and do that like that, or if I wanted to, I could stamp. There is a to and from in here, which I didn't. So there's a to and from. This is your day. This is your year. This is your month, however long you want somebody to celebrate. There's a hip, hip, hooray. So there's a lot of different greetings on there. I'm just going to do the one that we had used because I'll just make this match our card. So let me get the blue Berry Bushel ink. Okay, so happiest birthday. And we'll go ahead and add some glue to that. And voila, I have something that I could either add to a gift. I could add to something that I could hang it on something that I'm going to be giving them. I could tie it, like I could make this bigger if I needed to make it bigger. So those are the little rosettes that you can make. You can make these rosettes even bigger by adding more of them. So if you put 3 together, your rosette is going to be that much bigger. So this is what the size of it when you do 2. And you can't do 1. I tried. I tried cutting it in half and doing 1, and you still couldn't do it. It didn't work. So this is, let's see, about 3 1/4. Yeah, about 3 1/4 inches is the diameter of the circle when you do 2 of them. Okay, so now we have a card. With the card, I have something that I could add to a little gift. I've also seen these as when I've gone to different events, you can add, like you could glue gun a pin on the back of this and you could write somebody's name and they could wear it as a name badge if you wanted to do it. So I've already gotten that. When I've gone to different events, that's kind of been our name badge. So there's a lot of different things that you could do with the rosettes or with these punched out pieces and add them. I saw somebody did like framed artwork with it and had it as like a little kind of like you could put out for somebody's birthday when you were celebrating their birthday. Here's one that I did with the circular one. And here I put a lot of Wink of Stella on that, but I did that little embossed flower thing on the center of that. And I just put blue on the back. So a lot of different things that you can do with them. So this is our Round We Go. And this was our Friends for Life Thinking of You card with the Full of Life designer series paper. What? Look at all of that we had done. Let me come back to you here. I'm in the dark, except for these lights over top, which really do not do anything for somebody's complexion or anything. So thank you so much for joining me a little bit early tonight. I appreciate that. I will, a couple of things that I said that I would post for you. I will post where I got this little gun. I'll post a link to that. I will also post a link to the color coach in case you didn't get a chance to download it. It doesn't come like this, okay? So it does not come with all the pieces of paper on it, but it comes where you can cut these apart if you want, or you could just download it and take a look at it anytime you're looking for a color combination. So, all right, that is all I have for you. What time is it? 5:34. I have to be there at 6 and I have to throw a salad together yet. So I should be able to make it just on time. Thank you so much for joining me. I think I'll be back at my normal time at 6 o'clock next Tuesday. I don't think there's anything on my calendar. So thank you so much for joining me. I will see you again next week. And I hope that you can find some time between now and then to be creative. I think what I'll do next week is I might show you a couple of the new online exclusives that are going to be available starting in July, I had to do a swap card. I'll give you a little sneak peek. Here's what it looks like. Look at those leaves. Can you see all the little embossing and stuff on them? Oh gosh, they are so cool. So I'll maybe show you some of that stuff that's coming up that will be online exclusive starting in July. So, all right, that's all I have for you. Have a great week, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.